Welcome to the best idea for a competition of all time. This is Pokemon Showdown Showdown 3. Metas and wonderful people. My name is Riley Hopkins. My pronouns are he and they, and I am one of your announcers today. Who are you?
Hey, I'm Andrew. Welcome back. Riley, it's good to have you here in the booth. I know you were out yesterday, but it's good to see you today. How are you doing tonight?
It's good to be here. I'm fucking stoked. I'm ready to party. I had to, have a conversation with people yesterday. I had people over, my wife's coworkers. The entire time I was like, I could be hosting right now. And now I get to.
Well,
Let's fucking go, Andrew.
Welcome. It was nice. It was nice streaming with Jay, and now I am back in my usual of streaming with you. Riley, were you able to catch those matches last night? Because they were intense.
I wasn't. I'm going to watch the VOD as it comes up on our YouTube over on youtube.com/moonshotpods.
That sounds right. Thank you for that good segue. And with that, we have our VODs up. And as a reminder to everyone out there, everything that we do is brought to you by you and your wonderful support over at our Patreon, here on our Twitch channel. We just got a follower. Thank you, Lucian Rose. But any subscribers here or there or anywhere, truly anything helps us, because everything is sponsored by ourselves. Nothing we do is sponsored by Manscaped yet.
We got another email today.
Yeah, we sure did. But Riley, what are we doing here tonight? Do you know what this first match is going to be? Do you have any ideas of what we're doing?
This is the losers bracket, if I'm not mistaken, and we are doing the first round of losers bracket. It is a 1v1v1v1 all-out brawl, I believe, a free-for-all random battle.
Yeah, this is a free-for-all. We are... I am realizing live as we go, I'm not entirely sure how this gets determined. I think that we are taking the two winners of the 1v1v1v1s. Am I remembering that right, Riley? Do you know?
Let me pull up the bracket that Marn so lovingly crafted with thine own two hands. Marn has sent, and you think I'm the bracket freak, but I've been looking at what Marn has been doing over here, and it is a bastardization of all things good. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the two winners of the losers first round go together. Thank you, Marn, for sending that to me. There's monotype losers, 1v1v1v1, and monotype losers. They play each other, or they play each other to get a bye, and then they will go into the four winners fight at the end of the competition.
All right. Well, we are starting things off. These formats get complicated as much as it is, so we're going to start off with it's 1v1v1v1. 4 players enter, 2 are going to leave. And we're starting off with a surprisingly simple format. This is just random teams. All 4 players are going in with a random team. No one got to pick their own Pokemon. Nobody chose what they were doing as they go in. The computer has decided. They will battle to their heart's content, and then we will see who wins in the end. I think that, that's enough talking from me. What do you say we let our players introduce themselves?
Yeah. Who do we have a promo from? Do you have a promo from everybody, or is there just one or two in this group?
I believe in this group we have 3 promos coming our way. We've got promos coming our way. Nesta's going to be competing, but we also are going to see some introduction from PB Wheels and another opponent.
Gotcha. 1 winner per each free-for-all. There's 2 free-for-alls, and the 2 winners of the free-for-alls will go up against each other.
Sounds good. Okay.
Thank you, Marn.
In that case, I'm going to throw this away and boop, take it to the slightly smaller Moonshot logo, and let our players take it away themselves.
Let it rip. Great job, Dunsparce.
Wonderful promo from PB. Thank you, Wheels. Who's this?
When I was a child, I had a Pikachu toy. That Pikachu toy meant the world to me.
That's Riley's music.
I loved it dearly. I cared for it. And one day I left it on top of a fireplace. That Pikachu toy melted and came down to the smell of molten plastic. My young nose didn't know it yet. Since then, I've become fascinated with destroying Pokemon. Yours is next.
Okay, I got this calm on this Bugatti. I'm strong in this Bugatti. 2V8 ain't no such thing as driving calm in this Bugatti. Bitch, I'm bad. I'm worse. I pass. But perp don't fuck with me, cause right now I'm higher than cap.
My God, that's Riley's hammer.
It's about right now in the video that I feel like I should tell you I thought this thing would shatter. I was out there for 6 minutes hitting it with this hammer, and it wouldn't break.
That's right.
You, however,
I'm
will.
competing, fuckers. Roma was sick, and I am tagged in for Roma.
Oh my goodness. Well, Riley, thank you for filling in for Roma. I'm going to kick you out of the booth, so if you could go ahead and mute yourself, that'd be great. As I'm going to take us down to the match area. I'm glad we got oh, I didn't want to actually turn Riley off there. Let me see. Where am I doing this? Boop and boop. We're going live now to the screen. Give me just a moment to make this a little bit more legible for everyone. Things changed since last night, apparently, in the source preview, so things show up a little differently. We've got a 4-way match here. Right now, players don't start quite yet, but right now, let me... There we go. That'll be easier on everyone's ears as we go in. Right now, we've got 4 competitors entering this arena. We have PB in the bottom left here. They currently have a Yveltal out. They're starting off well with a legendary Pokemon. On the other side of them, we have Nessa out here with a Charizard, an old reliable classic. Next to them, Marshadow, a mythical ghost fighting type. Just a funky little punch dude. Wheels is battling with that one. And here on the end, kind of the odd shell out. We've got a Cloyster that Riley has brought to the fight. Missed the memo on Legends and Icons only, but you know what? Here we go. Music's a bit loud. Let me do this a little bit. This should be a bit better as we get into things. Should be a bit quiet, but you know what? That's what we kind of want around here. I'm going to go ahead and give these competitors the ding, ding, ding and say, you all can go ahead and get started and lock in your first moves. We're off to the races. Charizard using Protect, Marshadow using Protect, Yveltal saying, you know what, I'm seeing right through you. I'm just going to spend this turn pumping myself up. A solid first turn by PB there, using a nasty plot to raise their special attack. Getting ready to hit incredibly hard. Cloyster just fires off a Hydro Pump. It sees blood in the water with Charizard there, but just gets right into a Protect. Now, eagle-eared listeners to Moonshot Pods might say, hey, I recognize a lot of those people on the screen. Who's this PB that I've never heard of? You know what? Keep your ears out, because they're gonna be doing some cool stuff coming up soon. Without getting too deep into things, but that's some initials that you will not forget anytime soon.
I need Martin to know I don't know what a Shell Smash is, and I'm not going to learn.
Oh, we get a swap. Tapu Koko's coming out for Wheels. Charizard tries for the double Protect and fails. Cloyster fails to Protect. Yveltal does Protect. Nothing happened that turn. All that happened, Wheels swapped in Tapu Koko, a second mythical Pokemon on Wheels' side of the field. she's going to have a good time here with Tapu Koko. This is an electric coming in against a couple of birds and a shellfish, so just where an electric mythic wants to be.
Now, Andrew, there's downtime right now. Do you mind if I chat with you, or are you going to kick me out of the booth fully?
You know what? If you would like to, we can. But do you have something important to say?
I'm just sitting down here, and it seems like I'm in here with a bunch of Poindexter ass nerds who are thinking too goddamn much. Oh. My whole shit is. Oh, never mind.
Get out of here. Well, Zoroark goes down. Tapu Koko thunderbolted into what they thought was a Yveltal, but it turns out it was a Zoroark the whole time. Teaming up, Thunderbolt and Scorching Sands onto that Zoroark takes it out. The Scorching Sands onto the Zoroark, very surprising. Scorching Sands, a ground move, wouldn't have been effective if it was a Yveltal. Truly a next level read by that Charizard. Cloyster fires a Hydro Pump, misses the Charizard. Hydro Pump only has doesn't have a 100% hit rate. It's a very inaccurate move. Swaps into a Blacephalon as Charizard Thunderbolts, or Charizard protects. Tapu Koko gets a Thunderbolt off on that Blacephalon as Walrein fires off an Icy Wind, tries to hit all of its opponents and lower their speed. Works on two of them, hits the Tapu Koko and the Blacephalon. Charizard able to protect against it. Right now, one player's lost a Pokemon. PB is down one Foxy Lad. And we've seen a little bit from the other side, but this Charizard just kind of hanging out. Charizard overheats into the Walrein, tries to get some damage out, but it resists pretty well. An Ice Beam hits the Tapu Koko, which eats a berry. Meanwhile, Blacephalon uses Psyshock into that Tapu Koko as well. Things are really targeting down this protector of the Alola region. Realizing I don't know the lore super deeply. I think they are protectors.
Yeah, they're like protectors of the individual islands, if I remember correctly.
You can kind of generally say that they are protectors, and any legendary Pokemon, and I think it works. All right, Ness has followed up the old Charizard with an Electivire in electric terrain. That thing might hits pretty well. Meanwhile, it is a 1v1v1v1, but two players are at 5 Pokemon, 2 are at 6. This Blacephalon has its speed very lowered thanks to the Icy Wind from earlier. Same with the Tapu Koko. Blacephalon protects as a Wild Charge takes out the Walrein. Electivire eats a little bit of recoil damage thanks to just the recoil from the move, as well as its own Life Orb. And Tapu Koko fails to U-turn out, tries to target down the Blacephalon and swap out cleanly, but got protected. So Tapu Koko's still in. Jirachi's coming in from PB. We are at very few Pokemon apiece. A lot of Legends and Mythics are hitting the field. Right now, Electivire kind of feeling like the odd monkey out. Is Electivire a monkey? Sound off in the comments if you have an idea of what animal Electivire is.
I think it's just a guy, right? It's just a man.
Just a fuzzy man, something like that.
I'm now really thinking about it. When would you call the Ultra Beasts like legendaries or pseudo legendaries? Or are they their own little guys?
They're the same category of Paradox Pokemon. I think that they are about equal to Mythics just based on their stat lines. But you know what? It's really anyone's question. Electivire fires off a flamethrower, hits Jirachi for a bunch. It heals up a little bit, but it's still standing all right. Jirachi fires back with an Iron Head at the Tapu Koko, which flinches, doesn't get a move off this turn, but Blacephalon is able to finish off the man-ape thing by firing off a Fire Blast, taking it out. Blacephalon hanging on by a thread after it loses a little bit of HP due to its own Life Orb. And Darmanitan is coming in to replace it. I love Darmanitan. Little Darumidal it's a Darumidal that can punch you really hard, and sometimes it has to have a big think. I love it.
It's just so ugly. Like, I just hate that Pokemon. It does nothing. We talk about this on Champs every time it goes through. I'm just like, why are we putting this fucker through?
Oh, it's the best kind of ugly. It's a big old ugly ape that'll punch you real hard. I love it. It's my favorite kind of Pokemon. Last night we talked about my favorite genre being being dopey face. But you know what? This one also is good.
A question I have to ask you, Andrew.
Yes.
In a what is your strategy when you come into a 1v1v1v1?
Oh, I think, a couple players are doing it right now. They're protecting a lot. You and PB are here using protect to get around the U-turn that Darmanitan was trying to come in with. Politoed gets swapped in, sets up some rain. So yeah, I'm seeing in the chat, my strategy is leave. Yeah, being able to swap effectively, being able to do that. That's how I like to do things, but
I'm feeling very similarly right now. One thing that I'm noticing is I'm being able to skate by on kind of like without people noticing me, which is very interesting and not a good thing for the announcer to say into a microphone during the match.
People really should be targeting Riley more. Yeah, people are calling for collusion, claims of collusion here. That's under the assumption that I want Riley to win. I've never wanted Riley to win anything in their life. In fact, it pleases me when they lose and
It's
are
true.
in pain. Now, this turn has started off. Darmanitan got off a U-turn against this Jirachi, dealt a good chunk of damage. They are swapping out what they are. They're figuring out what they want to swap into. Nessa's got 3 extra Pokemon in the back. They choose Aromatisse to come into. Jirachi fires off a Life Dew. Politoed hits that Aromatisse with a Scald that gets off a burn, and Blacephalon hits it with a Psyshock. Aromatisse comes into the field, takes a lot of hits that were meant for that Darmanitan. Yeah, as we're currently looking at the field, Wheels and Riley currently have not lost a Pokemon, though the Blacephalon on Riley's side of the field looks like it's about to go down. PB and Blacephalon.
Not yet, fuckers!
PB and Blacephalon both fire off a Protect. An Icy Wind hits Aromatisse, lowers its speed, and a Moonblast gets protected. Now, truly, with a 1v1v1v1 game like this, it's truly anyone's game.
Red Seraph was asking where I went, and I went to my beer closet.
Oh, good. Blacephalon with the double Protect. There's only, I want to say, a 50% chance of that happening, maybe 33%. It's very hard to fire off a Protect the second turn in a row. Meanwhile, Politoed fires off an Icy Wind. Icy Wind lowers everyone on the field's speed, so every time they get it off, it's a move that does better in doubles and does even better here. It hits everyone, slows everyone down. Blacephalon swaps into Xurkitree, a different Ultra Beast. That Xurkitree ends up dodging the Icy Wind coming its way, as Yveltal, which has come in, is able to fire off an Oblivion Wing.
I am, Iris, Marn have all said it. Moonshot is home to the triple protect. It's one of the important things. One of the things we make everyone learn how to do when they come in here. It's just true,
Yeah, you can triple protect, but you have to hold down B the entire time. It's kind of like how Pokeballs work better if you do it that way. We got a couple swaps. Tapu Koko's coming in, and Genesect is coming in as well. Woo! A Volt Switch hits Genesect for quite a bit, which seems like the Xurkitree is coming out for a Hydreigon. We got 2 extra dragons on the field. Did every Pokemon swap that turn in some way? Goodra's the only thing left that started that turn on the field. Genesect is here for PB, Hydreigon's here for Riley, and Tapu Koko's back for Wheels. We got 2 dragons, one goopier than the other, a big old bug, and
that guy.
Totem Spirit.
I truly don't know what I think so. I think that is the vibe.
That's kind of the vibe. That's kind of the how it revealed itself. Either way, it fires off a Dazzling Gleam, hits 3 Pokemon, 2 of whom for super effective damage. A Draco Meteor off of Hydreigon ends up killing the Goodra, And a Leech Life from Genesect takes out the Hydreigon. Riley has officially lost their first Pokemon. Wheels is still sitting at 6 Pokemon together. Nessa currently on the back foot, only 2 Pokemon remain, and PB has lost 2 and played a good swapping game, so we know almost their entire team at this point.
We have to start doing something. Like, the players have to do something about Wheels there. Wheels is a veteran Pokemon player with 6 Pokemon on the board.
Riley, you're officially trying to use your position as a commentator to affect the game, and I'm going to need you to mute yourself. But yeah, we're at a point. Cloyster's back out for Riley. Darmanitan is out here for Nessa. Riley down 1 Pokemon. Wheels down 0. Nessa down 4, and PB down 2. Cloyster protecting, eats a Thunderbolt that it doesn't have to deal with, as Darmanitan hits with a strong Fire Blitz, quadruple effective into that Genesect. One thing that we should note, this is a Gen 8 match. We're not going to see any of the new Pokemon from Gen 9. I assume they have not been implemented into the 1v1v1v1 formats quite yet. Yveltal's coming back in for PB. That's Dark Flyer. I'm looking, as I'm checking out the teams, all of these teams have had a large density of mythic and legendary Pokemon, except for Nessa. The computer did not get the memo for Nessa, decided, you know what, you can play here with regular Pokemon. You know what? Chat is correcting me. I think this actually is Yveltal's first time on the field. Before, the only one that we saw a Pokemon on the field before, but it turned out that one was the Illusion Zoroark.
You're absolutely right.
Jinx takes a turn, or Darmanitan takes a turn, swaps out, sends in Jinx as the final Pokemon on Nessa's team. Riley swaps out into a Xurkitree, eats a Thunderbolt pretty well because it resists that damage. Meanwhile, Yveltal puts up a Tailwind. I assume Tailwind only affects PB's Pokemon. I assume there isn't some weird interaction with 1v1v1 that means that their team is both players on this side.
Well, it says... I'm trying to hover over it to see, right? And I can't get a clear... Oh, it does say it's normal.
That is a knockoff from Yveltal into Jinx. Takes its Citrus Berry, but more importantly, its life. Tapu Koko uses U-turn, hits Xurkitree for a bit of damage. And Wheels is looking at her bench to see what she wants to send out. It is Maractus. Meanwhile, Xurkitree fires off a Dazzling Gleam, deals super effective damage against the Flying Dark type, and hits Maractus for a little bit. As Darmanitan comes back out, the little Darmanitan that could, Nessa's final Pokemon here. A stacked field of Pokemon. PB currently at 3 Pokemon. Wheels still at 6, and Riley at 5.
We're working on it down here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is my first time playing Pokemon in a competitive setting, Andrew. I've never taken part in a Pokemon Showdown before. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's true, is it?
It is true.
Oh, what a scary thought. This turn... Ferrothorn coming out on Riley's side of the field as Maractus uses Spiky Shield. An Oblivion Ring is protected, and Darmanitan uses Flare Blitz, which ends up dealing some damage back to Darmanitan as it hits that Spiky Shield. Maractus swaps into an Archeops. Ferrothorn uses Protect. Yveltal hits Archeops with Oblivion Ring in order to heal back some health, and Darmanitan uses a Flare Blitz. It's not very effective, but still hits Archeops for a lot of damage. This Darmanitan in a scary position. A lot of its moves end up hurting itself to use. So as the last Pokemon on the team, it's scary as the thing to be relying on. Nessa in the chat says that they want to make sure that they are taking one of Wheels' Pokemon with them as they go.
Godspeed, Nessa. You crazy diamond, you. This is tense out here. It is hard. We have seen almost every Pokemon on the board. 3 of them are still hiding. And I'm excited to see them revealed as we kind of move forward here. You know what I mean? Darmanitan holds on right there. Jesus Christmas.
So Archeops fires off a Rock Slide. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage to the field, even though it can be super effective. Archeops has an ability that means that once it's past its halfway point on its HP, it's kind of defeatist. It gives up and says, you know what? I'm not going to play well anymore. Once it reaches that halfway point, it's just not a very strong Pokemon, if I remember the ability correctly. Meanwhile, Darmanitan fires off a Rock Slide of its own. Ferrothorn tried to use Gyro Ball. It failed. I assume it was into that Archeops slot.
Exactly what it was.
Trying to take down a Pokemon, but I guess in a match like this, it fails instead.
Dynamax!
You know, an interesting thing that Ness has reminded our players of now, Dynamax exists in this format. Gets big, fires off a Max Flare, sets the sun, and then dies due to its own recoil.
Oh, absolutely brutal. Nessa had something there. If Wheels had not pulled out that Protect, that Maractus probably would have been gone. She went out valiantly, but you can't beat a veteran in this kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're veterans for a reason.
Yeah. Good thing to remember: Dynamax moves do hit through do hit through Protect. Even if they don't deal a lot of damage, they still do some. Yeah, we are getting an important reminder in the chat. Spread moves in this format. Spread moves in any format where they hit multiple opponents, they deal less damage than they would in a regular sense.
Is that true?
It is. So where in a 1v1 match where Earthquake might be incredibly powerful, it deals less damage in a team where you're doing a double battle. I don't know that it gets weaker as you're hitting 3 opponents instead of 2, but yeah, when you're hitting 2 opponents, it will do less than when you're just hitting 1. Still, that being said, hitting 2 Pokemon with an Earthquake is going to do more damage per HP point than just the one on the one Pokemon, if that made sense. We're getting a bunch of swaps out here. We've got Protects, we've got Iron Head, we got Body Press on the last turn. This turn, Maractus swapped into a Marshadow as Ferrothorn protected, and Jirachi used a Life Dew to heal itself back up. This Jirachi has been Leech Seeded a couple turns ago, so it is currently sitting and healing, I believe, what is the old Maractus spot. Yveltal comes in for Jirachi, clearing those seeds, and Marshadow close combats into Ferrothorn. Deals a little bit of damage back using its Iron Barbs, but that Ferrothorn still goes down.
That's rough for me. I was hoping for a better swing of the whole thing, but sometimes it happens like it happens.
Yeah, now I will say PB currently sitting here with 3 Pokemon, Riley currently with 4, and Wheels with 5. PB looked like they were on the back foot a little while ago, but they're still just as up and at 'em as anyone else. Meanwhile, Cloyster fires off an Icicle Spear at this Yveltal. Icicle Spear, often a move that is tricky to get good utility out of because it can hit anywhere from 2 to 5 times. I believe Cloyster, one of its possible abilities is Skill Link, which means that it can hit. It will always hit all 5, meaning that it deals a good chunk of damage.
That is what I had. I did not know that was an ability that was at my disposal.
Well, it is something that Cloyster can have, and presumably if the Cloyster on the field has Icicle Spear, probably has that ability behind it. Jirachi coming in to replace that Yveltal. Marshadow firing off a close combat onto this Cloyster as Jirachi uses Life Dew to heal itself back up, and Marshadow takes some damage off this Icicle Spear. These Icicle Spears doing a lot of damage because Marshadow has hit with 2 separate close combats, meaning that its defenses are at an all-time low. Maractus coming in to replace it on Wheels' side. Maractus, Wheels both sitting at 4 Pokemon apiece. PB down to 2, but they've got a Jirachi in play and a mystery Pokemon in the back. Each player still has a mystery left behind.
Fuck.
Maractus fires off a Leaf Storm, lowers its own special attack in order to guarantee that Cloyster is down. It's replaced by a Bucephalon that is not doing too hot. 3% HP. It's a Fire Psychic, but still not doing too hot. Jirachi sitting fine, protected last turn, but It turned out it was attacking Cloister instead, so things are doing okay.
Now, Maractus has lost half of its special attack right now, which means that those attacks like Leaf Storm are going to do a lot less.
Correct. Now, Maractus and Blacephalon both use a protecting move. Maractus used Spiky Shield, so Jirachi, luckily it picked the Blacephalon to target, which means that it didn't take any damage trying to smack with an Iron Head. Jirachi protected as Wheels swapped into Politoed, and Blacephalon targets the Politoed with a Fire Blast. Deals a chunk of damage, but loses some of its own due to a Life Orb. So Riley has quickly gone from having 4 Pokemon left down to 2. Xurkitree at half health and a mystery Pokemon in the back. Wheels still sitting pretty at 4, and PB sitting at 2 as well. And again, both players still have a mystery Pokemon hidden to them.
I was hoping, Andrew, that I was going to be able to get in before that Politoed, before it was a Politoed. I was hoping I was going to be able to get in and hit that Maractus with that Fire Blast. I did not realize I would lose health when that happened.
Yeah, Riley, if you hover over your Pokemon, you can see what items they have equipped. If they have a Life Orb, it means that they'll deal some damage to themselves whenever they use their own attacks. But luckily,
Why would they do that? Well, I would like that to not be there. Well, actually, that feels like a bad attack, a bad item.
They hit for extra damage is the thing.
But they take more damage.
We have seen something that you don't see very often, because the Politoed or the Tapu Koko there fainted. Xurkitree tried to use a Max Lightning, but a Dynamax move failed. Those don't happen often. Wheels down to 3 Pokemon. We've got 3 to 2 to 2. Jirachi sitting pretty. Xurkitree sitting Dynamaxed, so a giant Christmas tree. And Maractus coming in for Wheels. Wheels is currently sitting with a Maractus, a Politoed, and a mystery Pokemon. Riley has this Xurkitree in a mystery, and PB has this Jirachi in a mystery. And it's truly anyone's game.
All right. I can read, everybody.
Jirachi protects. Takes a little bit of damage from that Max Lightning, but not as much as it could have. It also protects itself. Jirachi not getting hit by that Leech Seed thanks to its Protect. Xurkitree has used its second turn of Dynamaxing. Ends up dealing through 2 turns of Dynamax, has only hit 1 attack, and even that one wasn't very effective thanks to Protect.
It's hard out here, Andrew, but sometimes, and I want Arn to know, I did use the /weak command to figure out what I should do here. So thank you, Marn, for teaching me those commands earlier that I said I was not going to use.
Jirachi heals itself with a Life Dew, heals itself just enough to prevent it from going down to this Max Lightning, but then also gets hit with a Leech Seed, loses a little bit in order to restore Wheels' Maractus there. Jirachi, Xurkitree, and Maractus sitting on the field. Maractus almost at full health. Jirachi almost dead. And Xurkitree sitting somewhere in the middle there. It really feels... We've been through a 34-turn slog, and it still feels like the winner of this could be anyone.
It really does. Like, that's one of the magic things about these tournaments, right? Is that no matter what, it feels like anybody could do anything.
Look, any given Saturday, someone could walk home with a victory.
You're absolutely goddamn right. Any given Saturday. A Dynamax Maractus!
Huge Maractus! Jirachi fires off an Iron Head at the Xurkitree, which ends up flinching. Xurkitree is officially down. Jirachi healed a little bit off of
PB.
Something, but then went down to its own to a Leech Seed. We are down to Riley and PB's final Pokemon. Riley's got a Celesteela. PB's got a Farfetch'd. I believe this is... We're probably going to see this Farfetch'd Dynamax, because I believe PB's the only player that has not Dynamaxed yet.
PB has truly fucked the players. Not that I have ever swung at PB when I shouldn't have.
Maractus fires off a Dynamax Max Guard as Farfetch'd tries to hit it. Both players try to hit Maractus. Maractus throws up a Max Guard to protect itself. Both Max Airstream and Fire Blast fail to hit. Farfetch'd and Maractus are both Dynamaxed. If you had told me that I would see a match in which a Farfetch'd and a Maractus were going to Dynamax themselves, I would have told you were a liar. Maractus fires off a max overgrowth into Farfetch'd, but it blocks itself. Meanwhile, Celesteela fires off a Fire Blast into that Maractus. Deals a good chunk of damage because of the super effective move, but Maractus was at a big life total. Now that it shrunk back down, it is the smallest Pokemon on the field. We're about to see some big duck energy on the field as Farfetch'd is out. Celesteela protects, blocks a Leech Seed from Maractus, and a Max Airstream comes in from Farfetch'd.
Yes!
Raises Farfetch'd's speed, takes out one of Wheels' 3 remaining Pokemon. It is 1-1-3 right now.
1-1-2, Andrew. 1-1-2.
Correct. Politoed is coming out. Wheels trying to say, can I win this match without showing off my final Pokemon?
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out exactly what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Farfetch'd, that is a normal flying. Politoed is water, and I am a steel and flying. Oh!
A Leaf Blade from Farfetch'd takes out that Politoed, and it is now 1-1-1 as a Cloyster comes out on Wheels' side. This Farfetch'd is speedier than normal, and we have seen a Leaf Blade come out from it. Celesteela protects, close combat into the Cloyster, lowers Farfetch'd defenses. Cloyster uses Shell Smash. Cloyster says, you know what, I'm wearing weighted armor, I'm taking it off.
I don't know what Smell Smash does. Everyone was telling me to do that. What does that mean?
It lowers its own defenses in order to crank its attack and speed stats. This Cloyster was wearing a White Herb, which means that those defense losses are now gone. This is the fastest, hardest hitting Cloyster you'll ever see. Meanwhile, Farfetch'd lowered its defenses in order to hit before. Farfetch'd is taken out by an Icicle Spear by Cloyster. Farfetch'd goes down. Celesteela fails. It was also targeting the Farfetch'd with a Flash Cannon. It is now Celesteela versus Cloyster, as Wheels and Riley are the last two in the game with 2 remaining Pokemon. Celesteela protects as Cloyster uses an Icicle Spear.
How long?
We are potentially on the last turn of the game. Icicle Spear, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh!
Citrus Berry,
a
idiot!
Citrus Berry from Celesteela.
I move forward! We all knew I could do it! From the announcer booth to the champions line! Riley fucking Hopkins!
And that'll do it. After a shell-smashed Icicle Spear couldn't quite take down the bulky Celesteela, it's able to get off that win there. What a match. What a match. Riley, this does mean that you have to play tomorrow.
That's fine. I'm here tomorrow. I want to say right now that this is for Roma, the slot that I've taken. Roma, I did this for us. You and I, side by side, we're both in the Goofers chat, and Goofers go to space. Space is in the moon. We shoot the moon from space. We got it, baby. Woo!
I didn't understand any of those words. Knowing Riley, I'm just going to assume they're related to cryptocurrency.
Fuck.
What do you say we're going to see another... If you watched that match and thought, boy, I wish I could see another one of these, you're in good luck. 42 turns. Let's see if this next match can beat that. We are going to cut to our next group of matchups. If you'll give me just a moment to manage these, we are going to hop down and see some promos for our next matchup. We're going to see the other half of our losers bracket as Victoria, Jacqueline, Jay, and Elle are about to step up in this competition.
So I thought I'd introduce you to all my Vaporeons.
So here we've got some cushions, some plush that are too large to sit on any of the other shelves. Everything's kind of fallen down here. Nature of living in an apartment. We've got some more big guys up here. That's Pikachu. He's just waiting until he gets noticed. Up here, we've got some more pillows, plushes.
Jesus.
I love these little ones. These are pretty. Another one, we have a zero Vaporeon. That's a piece, probably the smallest Vaporeon I have. It's so cute. Like soda plushes, some American play sets. Not super proud of the Funkos, but look at you. This is the very first Vaporeon plush I've released. No one's allowed to touch it. Return into nature. The world is healing. Oh, we already got a bunch of smaller figures, like Pokemon Kids. We've got a lot of different fun box stuff. Keychains. I love this little one in the cup. Nice little player on pieces did. This thing I always want parts of. There's out. More figures, some are getting more to the 20 side of things. I have them ordered, some received it. There's also people with stuff in the back. Like there's some Vaporeon good ship. There's some keychains, there's like more pins in the back, some Decollage stuff. More larger collection, couple figures and keychains and such. This one's getting collectible releases when I can because they tend to when every release they tend to have different patterns or different fabric or different tags. Not doing anything at all. Here, mostly more Presto plush. At the time, I'm probably right. And here we have some smaller boys. Look at all. Tony plush, that's Edie. There's Pikachu. Hang out the door. There's a lanyard with some pins and pasty. Beer files. I have some like paper theater stuff I haven't assembled. There's more flat things.
So if you were to ask me who's my favorite Pokemon, I love them all equally.
So, Jacqueline Swampert, how do you feel in the light of your devastating defeat by Argyle?
Argyle gave me a real whooping. I'll agree to that. That's definitely what happened. I'm feeling okay about it, to be honest. There's still losers bracket, you know, and afterwards, I'll admit, I felt some humiliation. But what I really felt after reading the forums, reading the message boards, seeing what people were saying about our match online, people were saying it was obvious I didn't go to the gyms enough. People were saying it was obvious that I hadn't studied the matchups. And there was one thing that people obviously kept saying, even if not with their mouths, they were saying it was on the tip of their tongue, it was in the back of their mind. They were saying that I was naive. They were saying that I was naive for even trying. And I'm not going to deny being naive. But what I want to challenge is the idea that being naive is bad. I went into that with the purpose of being naive. I'm going into this tournament with the spirit of that little kid, that little naive kid who goes to Roxanne's gym with a Torchic and says, I'm going to beat everyone. That union organizer who says, I'm going to organize against the boss, even though Capital could crush me under its heel at any second. I am fighting with the naive spirit of the little girl that's still living inside my heart. And when I told her that, hey, I lost, I'm in the loser's bracket now, she didn't say, wow, what a disappointment. She looked at me and she said, get up and keep fighting because that's awesome. And I was like, you know what? It is awesome. So I'm fighting
That's a hero,
for
baby.
that naive spirit. That's who I'm fighting for.
Naive just means up speed, lowered
Here
special
is
defense.
a plate that I have seen in a dirty, yucky pond. That's you, next opponent.
Great.
Forbidden tortilla.
I'm not going to become King of Baby Mountain here in the losers bracket, so I'm just going to teach you how to make quiche. You can make your own pie crust if you want. You can make it in a food processor. I usually use the store-bought stuff. Okay, you're going to need 4 eggs, a cup and a half of milk, a cup and a half of cheese, shredded, whatever you want. I recommend Swiss and Gruyere. You want seasonings. I recommend salt, pepper, thyme, and paprika. You want half of a big onion or a whole of a medium onion. You want to chop up your onion, start sauteing it in whatever oil you've got. Put in your seasonings. You want to crack all your 4 eggs into a bowl. Whisk them until they're homogeneous. You want to add your milk. Whisk it until it's homogeneous. You want to shred your cheese if you've got block cheese. You put that at the bottom of your pie crust. You add in your sauteed onions. You add in your custard. You then put it in the oven for about 40 minutes. Your oven should be at 375 Fahrenheit. Remember to preheat your oven. Now you have quiche. Woo!
I'm sorry, 4 eggs in this economy?
Andrew, I buy the $7 eggs because they're nicer. Like, I've always bought the more expensive eggs. So this whole egg price gouging thing has passed to me by.
You're just like, for me, these are regular eggs.
I've been buying the $18 Happy Feet fucking eggs this whole goddamn time.
Oh, what's that? Do you hear that, Riley?
Is that the sound of competition?
It sounds like the sounds of our next match.
Ooh, that's some legendaries on the board, Andrew.
Technically right. Well, BHM is here too. We're starting this match off. Jay is sitting here with a BHM, the psychic UFO. Shot down like a balloon. Let's see. Process of elimination. Spy Drift Blim. There we go. That is someone. I'm not sure who that is off the top of my head. That would be. That's not L. That is Victoria. There we go. That's Victoria.
Victoria's in the other corner.
Victoria here with the Spy Drift Blim here with a Moltres. L has an Arcanine, came onto the field, hit everyone with an Intimidate. You can see everyone's at lowered attack because of it. And Jacqueline here in the bottom corner with a Mewtwo. We are off to a great start today.
Beep beep a woo, Andrew. Let's hit those fuckers with a ding ding ding.
Ding ding ding.
Oh. I have messaged them the ding ding ding.
Sounds good. It's a solid collection of Pokemon here. Riley, did you realize you said that there were all legendary Pokemon?
I said we have some legendaries on the field today. I would never in my life call BHM a legendary Pokemon because what it is a shit Pokemon with nothing. Well, it is a useless motherfucker.
What I was going to say, interesting fact, Arcanine here is known as the legendary Pokemon according to its dex entry.
I actually knew.
In the same way the Pikachu's the rodent Pokemon or whatever. It is the legendary Pokemon, which is a very fun fact to me.
Carly, I looked in the chat, I saw someone say full mast Mewtwo, and I was like, that seems like a Carly thing to say. And lo and behold, I turned my eyes a bit left, and look who it is. Of course. All
right. Now, I guess I assume each player is taking a moment to look at their team because we have, look, there's 24 Pokemon available right now. What do we get here? We get a swap for Pangoro.
Ooh. Snarl hitting the field.
Yeah, Pangoro swaps in for Moltres. Mewtwo hits Nasty Plot to raise its own special attack. Snarl lowers every Pokemon's special attack as it hits. Fun fact, it crits on the Pangoro. The Pangoro is 4 times resistant to it, so it still only deals 2%. And meanwhile, the BHM fires off a Trick Room. We're getting tricky. Slow things are moving faster. I'm currently feeling my eye patch break behind my head, so I'm fixing this as we talk. What do you think of this first turn?
This first turn has been an impressive move, right? You see BHM setting up, twisting dimensions with Twist Room, and we do see that Shadow Ball hit Mewtwo. Mewtwo brings it back up, and Pangoro drops that idiot BHM like a bad habit. Out of here. Gets hit with a close combat from the Arcanine to bring itself down and is wiped off the field with a final from Mewtwo. A big round. 2 Pokemon dead. 2 Pokemon still up. We have a lot of nerfs hitting the field right now as Arcanine has a loss to their defense and special defense, and Mewtwo has a loss to their attack, but a boost to that special attack.
4 super effective moves coming out that turn. Knockoff hitting BTM, taking its Citrus Berry. It might have survived that turn if it was able to eat, but it wasn't. It got its snacks stolen. Also, this close combat, lowering Arcanine's defenses, like you said, and an Aura Sphere, a move you don't see super often. That's enough to take out the Pangoro. With a random 1v1v1v1 matchup like this, it is wild to see that we were able to fire off a turn with 4 super effective moves at one time.
One of those things I'm looking at right now, Andrew, is I am looking at the stream, which you have the 3D sprites on. I have the 2D sprites on my screen, and Mewtwo's tail length. Mewtwo has a lot more tail in that 3D model. I don't know if you know this.
It sure does.
A gander. It has. That's a big motherfucker.
It sure is.
Multiple people in chat with the wonderful joke to the Joker. This is a normal room. Vaporeon, the titular Vaporeon being used against
Victoria.
A disrespect. This is cruel. But Zygarde Doggo mode is out here on the field. What is gonna happen? What is gonna happen now? There's so much.
Now, again, we're seeing for Victoria, that is 2 legendary Pokemon. Listen, chat, I'm gonna say legendary and mythical interchangeably because to me they're all the same. They all deserve to go in the ground.
If I get it from a GameStop, it's still legendary. I don't care.
It's 2 legendaries for Victoria so far, and a BHM for Jay.
A BHM and a Vaporeon. Jay is not batting 100% right now. Vaporeon is just it's not a betrayal. I'm hearing in the chat. Vaporeon is just testing Victoria. Wants to go up one-on-one. Wants to see how they feel against their enemy here.
Sure,
that's the most important thing. Or their teammate, their best friend. This is a challenge. This is Gohan versus Goku. This is Krillin versus Goku. This is I only know Dragon Ball Z for anime references. You understand?
I understand. Now I'm seeing some questions in the chat. Is Mewtwo a cat?
Mewtwo's a fetus. I hope this helps.
I need to respond to you all. They're all Pokemon. If they were cats, we wouldn't be allowed to show them fighting on Twitch. All our Pokemon staring each other down. This trick room was set up by Jay. Has some interesting lasting ramifications because on a random team, Trick Room normally comes out on a team that you say, you know what, I'm playing all slow Pokemon. I'm ready to hit really slow. That now becomes really fast because I have Trick Room to set up for it.
Is that what Trick Room does? I truly don't know what Trick Room does.
Trick Room sets it up so that the slowest Pokemon moves the quickest and vice versa. So a lot of times you'll get a Pokemon that's very slow, like a Hariyama, right? A slow Pokemon that hits like a freight train. You put it in Trick Room, now it's a very fast Pokemon that hits like a freight train. On a random
so in this
team
room,
like this,
Vaporeon is likely the fastest one right now on the field.
That's what my gut would say. I don't know speeds off the top of my head. Doing a brief little hover over people, Vaporeon has the capacity to be the slowest on the team. Each of these Pokemon display is a range, so I don't know where exactly each one sits. Some of them are built to be fast, some of them are built to be slow. So there's a lot of questions on any side. L swaps out the Arcanine, brings in a Masharna. The Masharna gets hit with a Scald, takes a burn, and uses Synchronize to burn Vaporeon in response.
Victoria having a rough fucking day.
Yeah, Mewtwo fires off a Psy Strike, kills that Zygarde instantly after taking some damage from an Iron Tail.
Lurantis is out here.
It's Jinko time, baby. Lurantis is back out. Lurantis on this field as a grass-type Pokemon, probably looking at that Vaporeon and saying, I could eat.
Victoria is the only one to have lost. Oh, that's not true. Jay and Victoria are the only two to lose Pokemon. We're having the same thing where the left side of the screen is losing Pokemon and the right side of the screen is withholding Pokemon. They continue to live without a problem.
L has been swapping in Pokemon in and out to good effect, I would say. Getting an Arcanine out means you can bring it back in later if you want to use Intimidate again. But Mewtwo just says, I'm Mewtwo. I'm here to throw down. Since Gen 1, I've been here. I'm ready to be strong. It's your job to kill me.
Helping Hand play.
Masharna does Helping Hand onto Lurantis.
Is out! Woo!
Lurantis knockoff on the Mewtwo kills it as Vaporeon fires off an Icy Wind to lower both Lurantis. Icy Wind deals super effective damage on the Lurantis, deals some damage to Masharna. Normally it's a move that lowers everything's speed that it hits. Yes. But Lurantis has the ability contrary, which means if you say, hey, you're going to slow down, it goes, no, I'm speeding up. So Lurantis got a speed boost from that. Normally,
and that's all.
Go ahead.
It's amazing right there because what happened is Victoria looked inwards, looked at Masharna and said, this motherfucker's not going to attack me, and then trusted. Or no, the other way. Masharna looked at Victoria and knew that they weren't going to attack them and gave them that boost. They had a trust in their heart that they projected the right series of events in front of them because that could have been disastrous, but it wasn't. It was killer. Great move, an expert level play.
Yeah, L's out here playing the political game of, hey, I'll Helping Hand you. That means that you'll deal extra damage to my opponents, right? You're targeting my opponents, right?
You have to wonder now, does L sit with that? Do L and Victoria have this kind of bond now where they can work together in that way? Do they trust each other, or was that a one-time fling? It's a question that we have to ask, we have to think, because we know Helping Hand's available on the field now.
Yeah, it's an interesting question because Sandslash is on the field now. It's an ice type. You do also have to wonder, does L say, hey, maybe this ice type wants to target that grass type? Maybe I give a little Helping Hand to that one instead.
Victoria in the chat has said, "L, I believe in you."
No.
And Team
No
Blue,
communications.
Team Pink.
No communications like this. No. No colluding. If you want to do it implicitly through play. We're not forming alliances in chat. And we're not forming alliances through commentary, Riley.
I'm not. I am reading the chat, Andrew.
Now, I will say,
reported the news.
One of the cool things here, Lurantis has Contrary, boosts its own speed normally, which is now it boosts its speed, which could be good, but we're in Trick Room still. We've got one more turn, so I'm gonna Dynamaxes wants to make sure it lives through this turn. Musharna fires off a Moonblast into Vaporeon. Vaporeon makes a wish to heal itself into the future. A drill run from Sandslash hits Musharna, makes it eat a berry. The Vaporeon almost goes down to a max overgrowth. Survives it and then eats a berry in order to survive.
Victoria swung at their beloved Vaporeon with all they had. They looked across the field and said, if you're going to fight me, then you're going to die. If you come at the throne, you better not miss. And I'm going to say it. I think Vaporeon fucking missed. They have a chance to run away. Will they take it?
Interesting play here. We are officially out of Trick Room, which means that this Lurantis, before its speed boost, acted as a speed negation.
Boost.
Now it's back to being a boost.
Absolutely. Now Sandslash still out here, not having done anything. Musharna is at a half health. Constellation has the most Pokemon left right now. Has the biggest in their reserves. Helping Hand has triggered and a max overgrowth again. The teamwork is unbelievable right now. They are teaming together. They do believe Team Pink can beat Team Blue.
Now,
Sandslash has swung at Lurantis and knocked it down and ate a berry.
A triple axle almost takes out this Lurantis, even through its Dynamax HP boosts. If it wasn't Dynamax at this point, it would have been killed that turn. That's for sure. Musharna helping Hands Lurantis. Lurantis fires off an overgrowth. Fires off the overgrowth into the Vaporeon in a way that, the helping hand helped, but it probably didn't need it to get that KO.
Here's my question, Jay. Here's my question to Andrew. Sorry, I'm looking at Jay's name
What's
right
my
now.
name?
Yes, it is that. My question is, when Dynamax wears off, do they go back to 32% health, or do they go back to what their health would have been?
Yes, you keep your percentage of health.
Okay,
that Musharna
swaps
into an Arcanine against two ice types.
Protect. Dark Pulse. Max Overgrowth again. Max Overgrowth is resisted. Fully protected against.
Wasn't fully protected against.
Took
a little bit of damage, but it did resist it as an ice type. We got two ice types up against a grass type and a fire type here. It feels like there's a bit of what's the word? An unofficial alliance here, where it's like, hey, if they're going to be teaming up to take us down, we might as well not attack each other and both sit as ice types. We'll see how that plays out.
Out on the field. I've been out on the field, and I recognize this because this is kind of happening last time when PB and I were swinging against wheels, and that was a thing that I broke. I broke that teamwork, and right there you see the team's still happening, swinging against that protect and doing nothing.
Wow,
less than nothing. Pathetic.
Regice blocked there, which was able to use protect, able to block both a Flare Blitz and a superpower.
Allowing Sandslash to get that drill run in with no pain at all. Easy. Set them up for that easy jumper.
Yeah, Seddon got a drill run off. Potentially could kill an Arcanine next turn after it ate the berry, but it's really rolling dice here. Regice has Flamethrower.
Oh, it's a
Zoroark! It's not a Regice at all. It's a Zoroark. Flare Blitz into Zoroark. Zoroark stands where a Regice may have fallen, and that means Sandslash is able to fire off a drill run, finish it off through the recoil damage that the Arcanine took before from its Flare Blitz. Zoroark ate a Citrus Berry, gets up to half health. Last match felt like the battle of Pokemon with Life Orbs. This feels like a battle of Pokemon with Citrus Berries. Everyone here is munching, they're eating. We got a battle of tanky bastards on the field.
we have two people now thinking of who they're gonna put in here.
Yeah, Victoria.
We have they're almost mirrored, right? Like Victoria has one less than Jay, but Jacqueline and Constellation both have 5 Pokemon still. That Sandslash, even though it has only like 67% attack, is still swinging so fucking hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jay's at 4 Pokemon. Victoria's at 3, but we got 5 for the other 2 players. You're absolutely right.
I'm scared. I'm frightened. I'm terrified. I'm mortified. I want to know what's going to happen.
We see a couple of bugs coming in against... Now, both of these will be super effective against a Zoroark, but Sandslash will deal some pretty decent damage to this Ninjask, and Araquanid doesn't stand up to it super well. So we'll see what happens here.
Well, you have to wonder, do these 2 Pokemon have something special in there to deal with Sandslash? Is it a kind of situation where we saw the Regice, which was Zoroark, using Flamethrower? Do we see something off-type that will throw us off as they swing at the Sandslash who won't protect? Swords Dance on the field, Flamethrower, Ninjask. Ooh, Ninjask is out of the field. A bad Swords Dance.
Targeting the Ninjask means that Swords Dance doesn't end up meaning a whole lot. Araquanid fires off a Leech Life, takes out the Zoroark. Jay is down to 3 Pokemon. Victoria down to 2, as our other 2 players are sitting at 5 apiece.
Now we know Victoria has a Moltres. I can't remember what it was left in, what state. It's left in 100% HP. We see
sure
right now.
Is. Yeah,
and Togedemaru is here on the field as well against a water and a flying. They need to deal with that motherfucker stat.
Yeah, luckily for Jay, it's luckily for Victoria,
yeah.
Fire type Moltres can do super effective damage to it, but yeah, it's a scary electric type here on the field.
And they can do super effective damage to both Pokemon against, or I guess 2 of the 3 Pokemon they're against, because they are still against Constellation. I forget that here. And they bring out Gastrodon East.
Ooh, a Heat Wave coming out from Moltres. Protected by Togedemaru, but takes out Sandslash.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. Sandslash is out of here, but then they did not harm Constellation, and Togedemaru was able to avoid Lycanroc. Is that Dusk form?
This one is, I want to say, it's like good guy form. I don't remember the exact name of it.
There's Dawn, there's Dusk, and there's Night.
I believe this would be Dawn form then. Or day form, something like that.
Day, night, and dusk. Lycanroc Day, I'm seeing in the chat. Thank you, chat.
Now, this Gastrodon
Everyone is yelling midday at me.
Gastrodon was able to dodge the Heat Wave last turn, so it swapped in for free. Even if it did take the hit, though, wouldn't have taken too much. It is quadruple resistant, being a water ground type. I want to take a moment to take stock of the teams. Victoria, with the Moltres, has 1 Pokemon hidden in the back. Jay...
Rock Slide! Oh!
Rock Slide takes out the Moltres, does some damage to Togedemaru and Gastrodon. Togedemaru tried to Zing Zap at the Moltres slot, but it failed as it was dead. And Gastrodon hits Earth Power into Lycanroc, deals a good chunk of its damage, but not quite enough to take it out.
Reshiram!
Reshiram coming out as Victoria's final Pokemon. We've got a Turbo Blazing Dragon hitting the field, ready to deal some damage as a Dragon Fire type.
420, everybody Turbo Blaze it.
Everybody Turbo Blaze it.
Victoria is on her last legs. What is going to happen from here? The Lycanroc used Rock Slide. It was avoided by Togedemaru.
2 Pokemon missed in that Rock Slide. Meanwhile, Togedemaru goes down, but not before it's able to fire off a Nuzzle into this Reshiram. Reshiram is now paralyzed.
Lycanroc is almost down as well.
Yeah, Jay into 2 Pokemon left, a Regice and a Mystery Pokemon, up against L, who has 5, and Jacqueline, who has, I almost said 3. I'm counting out the Lycanroc at 9%, but I'm wrong. That Lycanroc is still in.
Nobody could blame you for that right now. It's interesting right now. Do you think we see in these final moments Victoria turn on Constellation against L? They've been working so good together, but do they have to look at Gastrodon and go like, I'm not going to win. You are going to win. Do I want to swing against you and shake the future? Do I want to have an effect on this game in the future?
No.
Rock slide hits, dodge, hit, miss. Super effective against Reshiram.
Eats that berry.
Berry. Dazzling Gleam, Lycanroc is out.
Earth Power fails, and Reshiram flinches.
Ooh, you hate to see it.
Always a threat with a Rock Slide. The other day, I got to win a draft league match I truly should not have by getting a double flinch on my opponent.
Oh, that the disrespect.
Feels a little bad to win that way, but not as bad as losing does. Roserade coming out over here.
All right. Interesting. So Reshiram has a benefit against Klefki and Roserade. So if they can get off another Heat Wave, that hits everyone on the field, correct?
Heat Wave hits everyone, yeah.
And Gastrodon will live through that because is a water, and so is going to take that hit without a problem. Could deal massive damage to these two. What are our speeds on the field right now? Reshiram isn't as fast as you'd like them to be. They're about the same speed as the Klefki.
Yeah, speeds are always a little interesting in Pokemon because you read the dex entries for Pokemon and they say like, this thing runs as fast as a speeding car, and then you compare the two Pokemon and you're like, oh, it's as fast as a mouse. Okay.
Yeah, hurt.
Now, I will say Reshiram, however much speed it has normally, as a paralyzed Pokemon, it is at a quarter of its regular speed.
Mm-hmm. There's always a chance as well that move just does nothing. Gastrodon has beefed it, has eaten shit out there on the field. Dazzling Gleam against everybody, and a Heat Wave against Roserade and Klefki, bringing everyone on the field to 50% before that Citrus Berry hits.
Yeah, hey, guess what Klefki's got? It's a berry. We've got Klefki and Roserade on the field against this Dragon Fire type. L has lost. It's only their second Pokemon that they're lost. So Musharna's coming back in. Maybe this Musharna's saying, you know what? I'm sitting pretty here. Maybe I can just do some helping hands. Maybe I can do this. Who could say?
You have to think right now. Everyone, competitors, mute your headphones. Take off your headphones. You have to wonder, does Victoria see this Musharna? Remember the helping hands. Know it has Heat Wave on the board. Does it try? Do we now see a wasted helping hand?
It was not a helping hand. We got a Sludge Bomb coming out, taking out that Reshiram. Victoria goes down.
Wow.
Klefki uses Foul Play into Musharna, deals a good chunk of damage. As Musharna hits a Hypnosis onto Roserade, puts it to sleep. We've got Jacqueline here with a sleeping Pokemon, left with 3 on the field. L's here with 4 with a burned Musharna. And Jay is sitting pretty with a Klefki and a Regice, sitting there in the corner as well.
All right. We are at a moment.
I'm seeing some corrections in the chat. Apparently, it only does quarter. It lower speed to half as of Gen 6, so it was still slow.
All right, the burn hits. Porygon 2 is out, and Regice is out.
Yeah.
Musharna is still here, but still burned. Hits that Porygon 2 with a Psychic.
Yeah, a very swap-heavy turn. Swaps into a Porygon 2, a pretty specially bulky Pokemon that takes that Psychic pretty well. Better than the Poison type Roserade would have. And
now, how do you think Jay's Vaporeon felt about Victoria's performance here today?
I bet it was impressed. I've got to say.
It's got to say, I have picked a right best friend to lead me through life. Pangoro is back again.
Second Pangoro in this match.
Rocks polish speed.
Regice polishes its rocks. I'm not sure we can show that on Twitch, but here we go as we get Regice speeding itself up. Pangoro's here, takes a Tri-Attack. One thing worth pointing out, that Roserade was asleep. It has the ability Natural Cure, so as it swapped into this Porygon, it's awake now in its ball.
Okay, I did not know that. That is a big brain move. Pulling out then.
Yeah, see Victoria here in the chat. I took out 3 Pokemon. I'm satisfied. Yeah.
Ooh, a crit hit against Pangoro, who eats a Citrus Berry to bring himself back up against half health. Gets a big hit in Drain Punch against the Regice. Regice is hitting it with a Thunderbolt, is powerful, is strong. It does seem like everyone's focusing on that Pangoro. They want to get Constellation down from their perch.
Interesting thing to note. Regice had So interesting. It cranked its speed up last turn with a rock polish. Still went last this turn, which has got to be. It's got to feel bad for Jay. But it was also holding a weakness policy, which means that it raised both its attack and special attack by 2 stages before it fired off that thunderbolt. This is a very bulky Pangoro here.
We are in. 2. Ooh, a second critical hit against the Pangoro. It doesn't feel quite fair, but it happened.
The crit, and it must have been a speed tie because that Regice went before the Pangoro that turn. Porygon 2 tried to use Toxic with Prankster. I'm not sure how it had Prankster. Maybe it got Prankster off of the Clef Key from a couple turns ago.
Pangoro had Prankster. Pangoro had Prankster.
Does Pangoro get Prankster? Pangoro doesn't get Prankster. I think that what happened is Porygon 2 has Trace, which grabs the ability of a different Pokemon. I assume it got Prankster off of the Clef Key that Jay had on the field before, which means that when it tried to use Toxic, it failed because Pangoro is a Dark type, and Dark type Pokemon are immune to moves used with Prankster.
Interesting.
What a wild group of things that happened here that made it so that Pangoro didn't get hit with a Toxic, but it did go down to that crit Thunderbolt, and Dracozolt came out.
Fascinating. We have 2, 3, and 3 on the board. We know every Pokemon constellation still has. L is there and loaded. A Toxic against the Dracozolt, a Rock Polish again for the Regice, but a Dragon Claw will take it off the board.
Down. I think
That's
Jay,
good. That's good.
I think Jay looked at the board and said, "You know what I need to do if I'm going to win this? I got to be faster. Maybe I'll take the kill here, but if I don't get targeted, I'll be the fastest, hardest hitting thing on the field." And unfortunately, that wasn't the case. They got taken out. Jay's down to their final Clef Key.
That's one of those reasons that Jay's a clutch. Oh, and a Dynamaxed Dracozolt is on the field now. A smart move. Max Quake taking out the Clef Key. Jay's out of here.
Yes. Jay goes down to the Max Quake. Dracozolt is standing big as a toxic Dynamaxed Pokemon.
That is our first Dynamax this turn. Victoria completely forgetting that was an option.
Yeah, now this does make me wonder, have we seen a Dynamax coming out from Jacqueline? I don't think we have, but
we have not.
We're on turn 24. It has been quite a game.
We have not seen a Dynamax outside of this so far.
It's, honestly, it is hard to remember Dynamax considering the fact that this is, we're playing Gen 8, which is kind of old news at this point. A lot of people thinking about Terra types, thinking about Scarlet and Violet Pokemon. This is a generation before, which means Dynamaxing is legal, and I know it's a giant button right in the middle of the screen, but it's a giant button in the middle of the screen that is somehow easy to overlook. I'm not saying
it's outside of the attacks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You click an attack and it's gone. You're thinking about your attacks. You're not thinking about what those other things on the fucking screen are.
Yeah, I'm not saying that as like sarcastically. Even it is hard to remember.
Porygon, a mixed Dragon Claw
dodges a Dragon Claw, fires off a Tri Attack, and gets taken out by a Toxic. It is currently 2-3 in Jacqueline's favor.
God damn. What is going to happen here? Arachnid is back out. Jacqueline has a Roserade that is awake with 38% health.
We got
a Porygon 2 on the field
we got
and a mystery. 2. What did I say?
No. You were absolutely right. Woke Porygon 2, Woke Roserade, Porygon 2, and a mystery Pokemon.
A big Porygon 2 on the field. Wide Guard achieved. Super effective still, though. 57% of its health are down. Citrus Berry eating Electric Train is on the field.
Firing off some powerful moves with the Porygon. Porygon 2, we've seen so far, it has Tri Attack. That means it has access to Max Strike, which can lower the opponent's speed. It also is able to set up Electric Terrain, which I believe boosts the power of electric moves in the same way that Water and Sunshine raise the power of water, or Rain and Sunshine raise power of water and fire.
Yep, and the thing with Electric Terrain right now is you're looking at Porygon 2, and you see the remaining Pokemon the Constellation has, and you have to wonder, is this it? Is this a Siren Song?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can Porygon 2 bring this home with 2 easy moves right now, taking advantage of its last Gigantamax move and then cleaning house? Or is it about to shrink?
Well, it's got, I believe, 2 extra turns left of Dynamax. Now, Araquanid and Musharna are both very kind of bulky, tanky Pokemon. I wouldn't count L out.
Not bulky enough to dodge a max lightning in electric terrain. And a burned Musharna.
Yeah, at 24%, it might be too little too late for Musharna here. We've seen it. It does have some moves, but they are not quite enough to get past the Porygon 2. And
Jacqueline.
With that, Jacqueline is going to win the second 1v1v1v1v1v. However many 1Vs there are, Jacqueline's going to take this one down.
A 4V, which means that tomorrow Jacqueline will either be fighting me or Roma, if I remember correctly, if I understand how this is playing out.
Incredible matchup, just incredible. Naivete wins. Wheels is out in the chat. They're absolutely right.
They're the kids.
Shout out to raising speed and lowering special defense. Naivete, getting that naive nature onto the field. That's exactly what we want to see here.
Absolutely. Fantastic matches, fantastic games. Great job, everyone.
Exactly what we want to see. Riley, we got to keep going though. We're no longer in the 1v1v1v1 zone.
We're not. You're right. We're switching up to a new format, I believe. Is that not true?
It is, and this is a doozy to explain. So Riley, have you interacted with Terra at all?
I know that it's like a Pokemon has a random extra type that you can turn on instead of Dynamaxing.
So here's, and you definitely don't know what the ability of Protean does, do you?
I don't know.
Or
I
Protean?
don't. I haven't played Scarlet and Violet.
No worries. So here's what this format is going to be. Normally a Pokemon only has the types that they currently get, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I've got a Blastoise. It's only a water type, right?
Yeah.
So Terra, basically, if I say this Blastoise is a Terra Steel type, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Blastoise loses water type and just becomes a Steel type, okay?
Okay.
This is going to be a little bit different. What we are going to do here is, this format is called Forest's Trick or something along those lines. Forest's Treat. My bad. Wrong Halloween choice. If I've got my Blastoise in Forest's Treat, I know that Protean was in Gen 6. Riley doesn't. They don't know the games, but we're good. The way that this is going to work out, I've got my Blastoise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I choose a move for my Blastoise to use, it will add that type to the Blastoise and then fire off the move.
Oh, so say a Blastoise uses Rapid Spin, which is a normal type move. Blastoise will become water and normal.
Yes. And then, if it wants to use Thunderbolt, what do you think happens then?
Does it become electric?
It becomes water, normal, electric type.
Okay.
I believe that it keeps adding types the more that it goes. I know there was some debate last night about whether or not they added more past the third one. Someone can point it in chat. No, maybe it just changes to the third one. Am I wrong?
They don't stack. We tested it.
So there's just one
slot.
type. So it's just you're re-terraing every turn.
You're re-terraing.
No, it'd be
every
water
turn.
electric. It keeps its regular typing, and then the next type overrides. Okay, so you'd have Blastoise, it'd Rapid Spin, become water normal. Then it would use Thunderbolt and become water electric. So types are going to be changing as we go about. We're in for some weird matches. But before then, let's
hear from our competitors. Am I right?
Let's hear from our competitors, and we will, as we're going into this, we will... We'll look over the Pokemon during the match to make sure that we understand the board state at any time.
I'm keeping my headphones on, but I'm going to grab a snack.
Well, here we go.
Hey, it's Mac again. I'm fighting Marn this time.
I said,
And while I thought I could try to theme the promo around my opponent a bit more, it's just not going to work.
I
I said,
I just don't have any nth wave post-folk ska punk street-like manifesto looking ass songs about killing your friends and dumping their bodies in a lake. Or anything by They Might Be Giants. So you have to listen to good music instead. Sorry.
I said, hey, Mr. DJ. Yo, call us out.
As they say in Big Bill Hells, you're a dead motherfucker. Lol.
Incredible stuff.
Hello, Manic. I'm sure that was a very nice promo that you just did, but I am something of a musician myself, so I thought that I would play you a little bit of a song. What the fuck did you just fucking say about me, you little bitch? I'll have you know I graduated top of my class as a Team Aqua grunt. I've been involved in numerous secret raids on Team Magma, and I have over 301 hit KOs. I am trained in guerrilla warfare, and I have the top frog in the entire crab attack. Fucking draft league, you are nothing to me, but just another target. I will wipe you the fuck out with precision, the likes of which has never been seen before on this Twitch channel. Mark my fucking words. You think you can get away with saying that shit to me over the internet? Think again, Manic, as we speak. I'm contacting my network of Porions across the Hoenn region, and your IP is being traced right now, so you better prepare for the storm, Manic. The storm that wipes out your pathetic little Pokemon team. You're fucking dead, kid. I can be anywhere, anytime, and I can kill you in over 700 ways. And that's just with Earthquake. Not only am I extensively trained in psychic warfare, but I have access to the entire database of Bulbapedia, and I will use it to its full extent to wipe your miserable ass off the continent. You little shit, if you could only know what retribution your funny little mix was about to bring down upon you, maybe you wouldn't have made one. But you couldn't, you didn't, and now you're paying the price, you absolute idiot. I will rain poison all over you, and you will drown in it. Your team will drown in it. You're fucking dead, kiddo.
Andrew, I didn't realize that was the Navy SEALs copy pasta until Marn pointed it out. I was like, damn, Marn wrote a whole ass song. Okay.
This is my first time seeing this. I just know that we set a rule that says, like, hey, try to keep your promos to about a minute. And then Marn said, mine is 3.5 minutes long. And I was like, I would not allow this for anyone but Marn. And I'm glad that we did.
One person gets it every time. And I beg all of you, do not compete with that. Please do not make a 3-minute promo.
Do not take that as a challenge. What do you say we cut now down to our match? We've got Marn sitting here with a Corsola, a water rock type as it currently stands, against Hariyama, a pure fighting type. What do you say we give our players the ding, 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 and we
a real battle of the fucking bands? Let's do it.
Let's
ding,
do it.
Dong, dong. Let's
get in
fucking
there.
Party. What do you expect to see out of this? Who do you get your best bet on?
Well, Corsola's in a bit of a rough spot against Hariyama right now. Hariyama hits very hard, so if Mac just decides that they just want to hit hard and say I'm a fighting type after the turn, I will still be a fighting type. You can just go from that. Or our players could say, you know what? Let's take a moment to just start setting up some weird moves. And it looks like that's what we're doing. Hariyama says, you know what? I'm a dark type now. He uses knockoff.
Damn.
Bad swap for Marn. Marn's Uxie takes 100% from that one. And now Hariyama is a dark fighting type. We now have... Let me try to think of all of the different Pokemon that we currently make. This is currently Hoenn variant Pangoro.
Hoenn variant Pangoro.
Oh, are you setting up predictions early?
I did. I set up a prediction right now for Marn and Mac right there in the chat.
Sounds
to see
good.
Who do you think is going to win? Mac had a resurgence there, but Mac is at 40%. Marn is at 60 right now. Let's see what the fuck happens.
Sounds good. Scrafty's coming in. We got two dark fighting types against each other right now. Wonder what Marn's got coming on here. One of the things about fighting dark types, they're weak to the fighting end of things.
Well, and Hariyama's dark type there is temporary. The next time Marn uses a move, if it outspeeds Scrafty, it can change that type, and that can mean nothing.
Yeah, time will tell.
Marn with 13k votes and Mac with 500 votes.
I think people are truly taken by the Navy SEALs past as we go into this. Hariyama swaps out to Komao. Scrafty fires off a high jump kick, keeps its regular typing the way that we are. Komao are already a fighting type, so we're just Mac's out here throwing down, ready to punch.
A DJ has two hands, and that's their instrument, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what better instrument to move that to than fisticuffs?
Now, I believe I'm looking at the screen. It looks like this Hariyama in the back stays as just a fighting type. It looks like it clears out just like a stat change would. That's what Showdown looks like. Please feel free to tell me if I'm wrong about this, but it looks like things stay kind of temporary. Komao fires off a Dragon Dance as Marn swaps into Jirachi, a Steel Psychic type.
So no type changes on the board right now.
Not at the moment. Right now, Mac is shown two Pokemon, both of whom are powerful fighting types. Marn has shown three Pokemon that exist, all of whom are pretty weak to fighting. Komao fires off a close combat, even after the Dragon Dance, not enough to take out a Jirachi. Jirachi fires off an Iron Head in return, not enough to take out the Komao. Eats a little leftovers, restores its health. Komao's defenses are dropped a little bit, but it's still going to outspeed this little guy and deal some big damage.
My problem with Jirachi does not look like a steel type. I feel like you shouldn't be able to do that.
It's a big star, Riley.
It's a fairy type. That's a fairy type.
Well, either way, it has gone down. Komao is currently up. Marn is down 4-6. Scrafty coming back in. Komao out here at half defenses.
But more speed, which is going to enable it to get in with those close combats and clear Scrafty off the fucking board before it can do anything.
Yeah, another close combat. Are we about to see the Komao Dragon Dance sweep?
Komao sweep might happen here today.
We have
seen a lot of shit with a copy pasta, but if you're not making anything original, what's it matter?
Yeah, Marn back against the wall. Three other Pokemon, at least one of whom is weak to fighting types. Now we're setting up Venomoth. Venomoth out here, a flying or a bug poison Pokemon. Quadruple resists fighting types, which means that Komao might be a little scared here.
Does Como have anything else in the pocket? What else could it possibly bring to the table right now? And that is a Clanging Scales.
Clanging Scales, a dragon move that also lowers its own defense. Venomoth fires off a grass-type move, Sleep Powder. It is dodged. Venomoth gains a grass type. It is currently a bug poison grass type Pokemon.
We are neck and neck right now. What is going to happen
It's a
here?
scary turn for Marn. Now, the addition of grass does not affect its resiliency to dragon type moves or fighting type moves. If Como has something like a grass move in there or a poison move, it's now super effective, and Venomoth goes down.
Como, sweet!
Como is a dragon fighting poison type. Lantern comes out, a bulky water electric type. Is it going to be able to resist this Como?
Marin saying so many of my guys are weak to fighting out there on the field and putting a lantern out and hoping for the fucking best.
Yeah, it's a scary place for Marin to be in. And Marin's also got to hope that Mac doesn't have something like a grass type or an electric type in the back, something that can deal with water types.
Now, Como has 5 more PP left for close combat, which could still be enough to clear the fucking board.
Yeah, Marin's only got 2 Pokemon.
And also, Venomoth wasn't weak to fighting at all. It just got hit with a super powered close combat, which was enough to put it in the ground.
It got hit, so it was a poison jab that took out the Venomoth.
You're right. You're right.
Which
you're right.
Was a critical hit. I think I said super effective, but it was a crit. I might have misread what exclamation point popped up on the screen. Lantern tanks a close combat but survives, uses Toxic on the Como.
Immune!
But it's immune because it has gained the poison typing.
That's me, Andrew. Says Kurt from Arn. There's no way, right? There's no way she can recover from this.
Yeah, Lacey gently wafting curtains.
Mm-hmm,
Martin's going to have a big trick in the back to come back from this. Another close combat. I believe that Como-O's defenses are at the lowest they can possibly get after these close combats, but I don't know that it'll be enough. Unless Corsola has something like an Accelerock or a water jet that can take it out.
Doesn't fucking matter. Marn has been swept. Tumblr folk have forgotten what that word means, and this is an illustration of it. A sweep means when the other component cannot get shit in, and Marn did not get shit in. Manic has cleaned up, got the broom, put it away, and taken Marn out back.
What a powerful
Mac moves
match.
on to the next fucking round. Yeah. Hot damn amazing.
A very unlucky match for Marn, starting off with at least I believe 4 Pokemon that are weak to fighting in some way, and just unable to hold up in the face of this big dragon type Pokemon.
Goodbye to your points, everyone who voted for Marn.
Riley, I'm going to get the next match set up, and as we do that, can you go ahead and put in an early thing? I believe that our next match is going to be Claudia versus Jeff. Is that right?
That sounds right to me. Claudia v. Jeff. Another wonderful competition here, I believe, using the same gimmick that we were just watching here. Now, these are both great competitors. You've seen Jeff Stormer. You've seen how far he has pushed. I believe Jeff has made it all the way to a finals before. But Claudia is here to compete. Claudia is here to ball the fuck out. And I trust Claudia to come away from this with a W.
We're all here to play. What do you say? You want to see some promos?
I fucking do want to see some promos. You tell me when to hit play.
I'm ready. 3, 2, 1,
go.
Hello, this is Claudia. I'm here in my home, fresh off of my victory defeating
That's a
Jay.
great coat.
Groudon comes in with a lava plume. Not enough. Is there a chance that Don Fan Stone Edge, which misses?
Let's go. Let's fucking go. It's wintertime, Jay. Yes, we remember. This is a message for Jeff Stormer. Jeff, I want you to know that I don't prepare for battles. I don't practice. I don't really spend time thinking about it beforehand. I just do it, and I win. And I wanted to let you know that you should prepare. You're going to need it, Jeff Stormer, because you, the big storm coming.
Controversy at the Pokemon Showdown Showdown post-game press conference.
I mean, you're trying to beat a Philadelphian at a sporting event. Like, how much do you really need, you know?
You still speak to Andrew Sherman? I haven't spoken to Andrew Sherman in years. Let me tell you something about Andrew Sherman, okay? Andrew Sherman podcasts with his mother. That tells you all you need to know about Andrew Sherman. Okay, look, I'm sick, and I'm hurt, and I'm coming out here every night to beat their chosen champions in Pokemon Showdown. And what do? I get a bunch of idiots backstage who don't know how to run a podcast network. They don't know how to get Jeff Stormer on their network. And I got to deal with this? No, I am done. I am taking my tasty cake made right here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And look, here's the camera. Claudia, if I show up, I am sorry. This is not about you, because there is hell to pay on this entire network. I am going backstage, and if anybody tries to stop me, I swear to God, I will bite you. I am an adult man, and I will bite you.
We get security actually guarding Andrew's house right now. We need a little bit of extra hands.
Listen to Mild Mannered, my MILF Manor recap podcast that my mom and I do. Anyways, I'm glad that Jeff likes things from Philly. Someone has to, right? They keep making them. What do you say we go over to this next match? It's time. Claudia's here on the left, sitting here with a Lapras. We got Jeff on the right with a Pachirisu. Electric.
That's big words coming from the fucking Pachirisu.
Electric versus water ice. Riley, you say some mean things about Pachirisu. I do want to let you know Pachirisu can tank a Draco Meteor from a Garchomp. It is
words that mean nothing to me. I need you to get to know.
I know. You know nothing about Pokemon. You're a good partner here. Let's give our opponents the ding, ding, ding.
Ding, dong, ding, ding, ding. I saw Iris post in the chat Cult of Personality after Jeff's promo, and I am playing it for the remainder of this fucking match. Right now, our prediction in chat going with Claudia v. Jeff, 5.8K to Claudia, 4.2K to Jeff. Diggersby is out, and a Nuzzle does not affect Diggersby.
Nuzzle about as effective as the Eagles' defense in the Super Bowl. As we see, nothing happens that last turn. We get a swap into a Lantern, eats an Earthquake, and dies immediately. Wow, what a swap.
Shook.
Now, I will say, Starmie coming in. Starmie's a good choice here against this Diggersby. Water Psychic might be picking up a third thing. Might just say, you know what? Water's all I need to take out this Diggersby. I do want to say, Claudia here might be out to kill Jeff. Also, might take down the stream. Please don't do promos with weapons in them. They are against Twitch terms of service. I should have cleared this before we started the match.
Claudia is too intense for TV.
Marshadow coming in. Starmie fires off a Hydro Pump.
That was just a letter opener, actually. So it's not a weapon, so it's okay.
Okay, perfect. I will make sure I mention that in our appeal. Shadow Sneak from Marshadow doesn't quite take out the Starmie as it fires off a Psyshock, takes out Marshadow, and heals a bit using its leftovers. Takes a little bit of munch, a little bit of crunch, eats a little bit.
Leaves us with a 5v5 matchup. Starmie with less than half health. But Jeff says, I'm not done yet. I'm not out. You can't write me out.
Yeah, Diggersby comes back in for Jeff. Or for Claudia.
Another Hydro Pump.
Eats a Hydro Pump. Hydro
Pump.
Classically not a very accurate move, but hasn't missed yet this match, I don't think. Music should be on now. Slacking is in. Does Slacking want to pick up any extra types? Slacking, a powerful Pokemon that is held back by its Truant ability.
Now, that's interesting. Truant is such a big negative coming in here because we've seen so many. This has basically been two people assembling a gun and pointing them at each other and pulling the trigger as fast as possible. Slacking with that Truant ability, can it really make something happen here? The answer is yes, as it drops that Starmie like a bad habit.
Yeah, Starmie fires up a Psyshock, doesn't find a lot of damage there, as Slacking uses Night Slash, adds a Dark type to itself, and it's going to have to take a nap this turn, but in the meantime, it has cleared out a Pokemon. Excelgor, the Bug type, is able to come out. Being a Bug type might be able to take advantage of the fact that Slacking's now a Dark type and say, oh, you're weak to bugs now.
Well, it's a normal and Dark type.
Yes. Normal.
Does that still bring anything in?
So that means that Slacking, super affected by, if it gets punched in the face, it'll crumple like I would. Bug, it'll be weak to. Yeah, here we go. Jeff is set up with an Excelgor, a very quick Bug. Let's see how this goes. Instead, Incineroar swaps in, lowers Excelgor's attack. Excelgor fires off a Bug Buzz, deals a small chunk to Incineroar, but Incineroar is a powerful, bulky... You can build Incineroar multiple ways. It is one of the strongest Pokemon in competitive play for a variety of reasons. You can build it pretty bulky as a supporter Pokemon. Let's see how this one plays out. Swaps to the fire. Stacks out. Jeff swaps to the stone Stack Attacka, which eats a Flare Bits pretty well. Loses only 31% of its health. Incineroar takes a bit in recoil.
It's delicious. Thank you. I've been handed a very nice churro as Stack Attacka eats shit and goes to hell.
Yeah, Incineroar now a Fire Dark Ground type. As Xatu comes in, a Psychic Flying Pokemon.
No, Andrew, remind me, did we see any Dynamax's last matchup?
We have not, but this is... Now that I'm looking at this is Gen 7, so we're not going to see any Dynamaxes. I presume we're not going to see any, like, Z moves or anything. Was that Gen 7? Am I remembering gens right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Can Jeff pull this out? It is 3-4 right now, so Jeff has a chance here. Claudia has a chance, too. The Psychic.
Jeff tries to fire off Psychic, but fails due to the Dark typing on Incineroar, and eats a knockoff in response, goes down. Claudia's sitting with 4 Pokemon left. Jeff has 2, Excelgor and Pachirisu. Excelgor firing off a Bug Buzz into a Flare Blitz. This Incineroar takes a lot of damage. Takes a lot of damage in response to the Incineroar, but it is now a ground type as well. Pachirisu doesn't like to see this on the field. What is Pachirisu going to do in response? He uses a U-turn, not quite enough to pull it out. Gets hits with a Earthquake, eats a berry. We've got an electric bug Pachirisu at this point. An Incineroar with not much health left. Claudia, I'm sure, taking a moment, looking at the other Pokemon she has on the field, seeing, do we want to make a swap here? Do we just want to say Incineroar can stay in? Because Pachirisu was faster last turn, so we'll see how this ends up being.
Pachirisu has those leftovers, so every time it doesn't die, it does regain health. So it has a chance here. Jeff has the last chance possible, the last thing he can hope for.
Yeah, Jeff currently has a Pachirisu. Oh! I was about to say it's pretty tanky, but not tanky enough. Slaking comes in for Claudia and just puts the squirrel in the ground.
Grizzy points out that Jeff, in doing that CM Punk gag, inadvertently cursed himself to becoming injury prone, which means that Claudia, the Alexandrite system, walks out of here with the win.
Well,
fantastic.
GG to Jeff. Well played. Very well fought by both competitors. And congratulations, Claudia.
Oh, what a match. What two great competitors up against each other. What a fantastic interaction.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're going to keep things moving here. Up next, we've got a matchup. We've got Clown versus Argyle, 2 mainstay competitors in the Crabs Draft League. Let me find...
Is Argyle in the Crabs Draft League?
Oh, you know what? No, I'm getting a couple people mixed up.
Pot of Greed?
I'm getting people mixed up. I apologize. No, Argyle from Pot of Greed. My bad. But let's hear from Clown as we are getting our what do we call them? As we get our promos up and ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Ready.
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go.
Was not expecting the giant whistle at the
And I believe our buddy Argyle didn't have a promo, which means that's just all that has to be said.
Look, sometimes,
oh my God.
Sometimes a promo just speaks for itself. What do you say we get into this next matchup?
You let it fucking rip, everybody. Let's go. Let's see what happens. The prediction is on the board. The gamers are in the field. We go ding, dong, ding.
Well, we got
this match started off with something that we haven't seen from anyone else right now, Andrew, and that is a good luck, have fun. These two shaking hands in the field, showing that not only are they great competitors, they're great sportsmen as well.
Mm-hmm. We'll see how that lasts throughout the rest of this match. We've got a Decidueye up against a Registeel. Argyle's here with a Grass Ghost to start things off. Registeel here just a pure Steel. We'll see if those change as the turn goes on. I've been surprised we've seen very little type swapping here. So much of these matches has just been Pokemon saying, like, you know what? I'm a fighting type. I can punch hard. That's about all I need.
And I wonder, do our players right now look at this and say, like, well, what can I do to mix this up a little bit? Registeel right now, Steel and Poison, that feels like a pretty strong combination. With the Toxic on Magmortar.
Steel Poison, aside from Steel Fairy, I want to say Steel Poison is probably the best defensive typing you can get. You help with Steel's, you help resist fighting, which Steel's normally weak to, and on top of...
Oh God!
You are doubly weak to ground, though. You are quadruply weak to ground. So maybe I'm not entirely right. That Registeel eats an Earthquake. This Magmortar is now Fire Ground, but it is toxic. It's gonna sit around for quite a while and just take.
And that thing about toxic is that it gets stronger every time it hits. Am I right about that?
It sure does. Yeah, last night we were seeing some matches that went super long. We were seeing toxics that were dealing, 20 to 30% HP every turn. You get a Pokemon using Recover, but there's only so much you can recover through things. Lucario, another Steel type coming in. This one fighting Steel.
You have to wonder, does Lucario have a move that they can get off before Magmortar swings that will help defend against the Earthquake or the Flamethrower, whatever Magmortar has?
Yeah, this format's a little interesting because you have to sit and you have to think, okay, fighting ground, what's good against that? I know that personally, I'm not super good at looking at it just in the abstract. The way that it works for me is that I think, what's a fighting ground type? Okay, Camerupt. What's good against Camerupt, It helps me to look at the Pokemon that this is most like when I come up with what is good against it. But we'll see. Swaps into Decidueye, tries to get a close combat off, but Decidueye is a ghost. Little Ghost Owl says, you can't touch me.
Yep. That is not effective. There still have been no type changes here between these two Pokemon.
Yeah, Decidueye and Lucario sitting as their natural selves.
You have to wonder what's going through their heads right now. Argyle is someone who, if I remember correctly, has made it to the finals. Am I right? Ooh, a heavy crunch.
Gets in a good crunch, is now a dark type. Decidueye fires off the normal type move Swords Dance, but as we saw, it looks like this Lucario might be faster than Decidueye, so that Swords Dance might not end up amounting to very much.
Is it Dark or Ghost that has no effect against normal?
Ghost.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter because Klefki's out here instead now. That Swords Dance being thrown to the wind.
Yeah,
it was a gamble, and sometimes gambles don't pay off.
Crunch coming out into a Klefki, not very effective thanks to Klefki's fairy typing. We are swapping in. Klefki uses Thunder Wave, grabs an electric typing to itself. One of the interesting things here, a lot of times we're not seeing. A lot of times with Terra typing, what you might want to do is say, Now my Pokemon is a Thunder type so that my Thunder Punches deal more damage, even though I'm not normally a Thunder type. Here, we're seeing a lot of Pokemon that are gaining the extra typing due to status moves they're using. I'm using a Thunder Wave. That means that I'm an Electric type now. Thunder Wave didn't work this time because, again, Prankster on Klefki doesn't affect Dark type Pokemon. But now Klefki is an Electric type. Can Skuntank punish that? Electric means that you are only weak to ground. So can Klefki or can Skuntank punish that? We'll see.
Here's my question to you, Andrew. What exactly, again, can you explain to me Prankster again?
So, Prankster is an ability a Pokemon can have that means that their status moves always go first. So if you use a Thunder Wave, you'll go first. If you use Tailwind, people like to use often. Things like Light Screen or Reflect. So those moves act kind of like Quick Attack, where they always go first. It behaves like that.
I have never... This is a sidebar. I've never had a Machamp before, so I've never seen its back. The double shoulders do look awful in a way I've never seen before.
Yeah, we see Klefki swapping into a Machamp, which is going to eat a Fire Blast, and it gets burned. But one of the things that we see, that Machamp didn't take any damage from the burn. That means that this Machamp has the ability Guts, which means that if it's suffering from a status effect, it's going to deal extra damage, including the move. Okay, this is... Oh, Riley, I've got some news for you. It looks like this is a Guts Machamp with now a normal typing and the move Facade, which means it's going to do extra damage as it goes through.
Could we see a Machamp sweep right now?
It's possible, especially on the other side of the field. We're seeing, we've got a Dark type and a Steel type Pokemon, both weak to fighting types, which Machamp still is.
Oh,
Machamp chooses to swap out instead.
Oh, holding on.
Close Combat comes in, hits Klefki for a decent chunk, but not enough to take it out. Now, I'm seeing in the chat a bit of desync. Is that just on one person, or is the rest of the chat seeing this as well? Because if chat's seeing this, I'd like to fix that if I can. But what a powerful swap.
Testing. What are you testing?
Klefki here has Prankster, has to ask itself, look, I don't have much HP left. Do I want to try and Prankster into a status move onto this Lucario and hope it doesn't switch? Or do I think that they're going to swap into the Skuntank or a different Dark type to try and get around it? There's a lot of mind games that go into play here.
And these are two top-tier competitors, so they're thinking about that. They're thinking about every interaction that could happen in front of them at the moment.
We are seeing the swap to Skuntank, and a Dazzling Gleam instead. We're just firing off a little damage, healing up a bit with some leftovers. And Klefki is in against the Skuntank, which we have seen at least one move that's super effective against Klefki before.
Now, but has Skuntank got any of that?
Worth noting, Argyle has not lost a Pokemon yet.
No, Argyle's been playing quick and loose with those switches around. Has been anticipating Clown's every move here.
Yeah, their Pokemon are they're all a little worse for wear. They've all taken some damage, but none of them have quite bitten the bucket yet. And there are two mysteries in the back, so.
What we see right now, we're going to see multiple stages of 4D chest. Skuntank uses, but actually, we didn't. Because you had to think. Argyle had to think, will Clown think I leave Klefki in? Will Clown try to hit a Fire Blast against Klefki? Do I switch out? Do I not switch out, thinking that Clown will think I'm going to switch out and use a move that is not going to harm Klefki? There are so many things going on at once right there.
Well, and then there's also the extra move of, do I just leave the Klefki in, let it die so I get a free swap in? If I just do a swap, my Pokemon are going to take a hit. If I do this, I lose one, but I might win the war in the future. Magmar comes in. Earthquakes. That Skuntank was quadruple weak to Earthquake due to the fact that it is a poison and fire type, and Dark doesn't resist. So that was a powerful Earthquake comes in, takes out the third Pokemon.
Lucario is now back on the board. There's still two Pokemon each that are hidden right now. Magmortar's not looking good. That Toxic is leaning heavy over it on top of that 67% defense.
Yeah,
what
Magmadar
happened?
in here is it's a Numel again. It's fire ground. Lucario doesn't like to see that necessarily, but it is pretty quick and it does hit hard. We get a close combat off Lucario, and that takes out Magmadar. This Lucario acting like a scalpel, just saying, you know what? I come in, I hit hard, I hit fast. That's all you need sometimes.
Tapu Fini, Misty Surge on the field. We are in a misty terrain.
We sure are. Misty terrain comes in. Tapu Fini is sitting here hanging out. I want to say it is a water fairy type. Lucario is a fighting steel. Doesn't match up super well. Steel matches up pretty well into that. It's at least neutral against this Tapu Fini. But fighting gets hit pretty hard against fairy. But I think steel actually resists it. So we're pretty... Now that I'm actually thinking about this and thinking it through entirely, I think we're all pretty neutral here.
But that's going to change once some moves start getting used. Because we can, again, switch it up. Sword Stamp, making Lucario a normal fighting steel. But that Moonblast, that fairy hit, will still drop it, bringing Shuckle out.
Yeah, sometimes a powerful, sometimes a powerful neutral move is enough to get it done. Shuckle eats a Hydro Pump, but it's got those defenses. Shuckle is now a Bug Rock Poison type as it fires off a Toxic.
But it was not effective. It did not land. Beartic is out as well right now. Calm Mind, special attack, and special defense rolling. This could be Tapu Fini coming in for the kill here on turn 17. It needs to drop 2 Pokemon, but it has the potential as it's in an advantageous terrain, and it has that big boost right now. Icicle Crash coming in.
Yeah, Tapu Fini is currently in the Mind Dimension. It's a Water Fairy Psychic type with Calm Mind as Beartic is its opponent. Beartic wants to hit hard and fast, but it's not quite enough. And we are left. Clown is left with just Shuckle. It's a good Pokemon,
that's it.
But not enough to get her there.
Argyle Funk. Argyle goes to the next goddamn round. Fantastic work. Holy shit.
A powerful match with one mystery non-revealed Pokemon. That, to me, that's the biggest... that's always the biggest thing of all, where I gotta wonder what's in that last Pokeball, you know?
Yep. And they hide it. And we will only know if Argyle comes in to share it. But that is the work of a potential champion as they move on to the next round.
And the next round, who are we seeing here fighting?
I believe we're seeing Izzy and a Fleur? Is that correct? A former champion?
Izzy and Fleur. Yeah, our final match of the evening. We do have a promo leading into this. Izzy had a couple of words to say before we get started. What do you say we listen to him?
Let's let it go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's see, where is that pesky opponent of mine? Oh, there you are. Hi, Floor. Hi, Pokemon Showdown Showdown 3. We're up for round 2, aren't we? And now you may be wondering, why were you, Floor, the bottom of a thing of Pokemon toys?
A lot of plushies
My
tonight.
gosh, why were you down there? Because that's where you're going to be when I'm done with you. Right at the bottom, without your left shoes. Because I'm coming for them. I'm going to get them. They're going to be mine. Oh, Detective Pikachu agrees with me. I'm coming for Jeff's left shoes.
Jeff's already gone.
Jeff's already gone.
Fucking dead.
Jeff's
taking
shoes.
shots at the dead.
We're robbing graves and stealing shoes. Riley, it has been a wonderful night of battles here with you tonight. What do you say we get to our final match?
Let's bring it on home, Andrew. Bring it on home to me. Let me see the matchup. Izzy versus Fleur, the former champion. Who is starting out with... I'm waiting for it to hit the screen so you can see it.
Fleur is here with a Dragonite, a dragon flying type. Meanwhile, Izzy's got an Umbreon. 2 classics.
This is it. Let's fucking go.
What a match. Are you ready to call ding, 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 Riley? Or
I am ready to say the words ding, ding, ding.
All right.
Chat seems to have faith in Fleur, a former champion. It makes sense why you would. But Izzy has done this 3 times, has been here in multiple rounds of Pokemon Showdown Showdown. You cannot deny what they're bringing to the table. They have a preparation, a attack here.
Fleur, a powerful competitor. I did play them in my Pokemon Draft League, and I don't want to announce what the results of that match were live on the air.
Were they not good, Andrew?
No, it was a weird draw. I don't know. It was, one of those weird draws that only affects me negatively. I don't know how it happens. Umbreon turns into a dark poison type by trying to toxic Beedrill. Beedrill's already poisoned, though. Beedrill doesn't care.
That's because Dragonite was pulled out and Beedrill was brought in. A great move there.
Yeah, Umbreon, a very tanky Pokemon. It wants to sit. It wants to just chill. It wants to take its time and deal some damage overall. A great swap by Fleur, predicting Toxic.
But not predicting the foul play.
But Beedrill fires off some Toxic Spikes, setting up and saying, hey, unless your Pokemon are naturally poisonous, I'm going to start setting up for some negatives in the future. Umbreon uses foul play. Beedrill restores a little bit from Black Sludge. Not enough that it can survive another foul play. But in the meantime, it knocks off Umbreon's leftovers, gaining a Dark type, so it resists foul play just enough to survive.
Oh, bold move. Now, if Umbreon wants to not get hit by those spikes, they need to keep using the moves that they already have the typing for. That's how this plays out. If they use a different move, they're going to get hit by those spikes.
No, only if they swap in. When you're on the field, the spikes don't affect you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
But that being said, Beedrill is knocked off Umbreon's leftovers, which means it can no longer just chill and hang out on the field for forever as it might like to. And we've seen the Beedrill being quicker. This might mean that they can get up the second layer of Toxic Spikes, turning Poison every turn into Toxic Poison every swap in to Toxic every swap in.
And that would be a huge dub for Fleur.
Absolutely.
Emboar is out here, Poison having triggered, and that second round of Toxic Spikes is indeed out.
Yeah, we're bringing in Emboar. I think Izzy might have said, you know what? I see the writing on the wall. Let's get one Pokemon that's not toxic, just poisoned. Let's get them in here, and then we can start, using things. And gaining electric typing off of Wild Charge takes a little bit of damage and recoil and some poison damage, but Emboar, firefighting electric, it is standing tall, dealing super effective, or not super effective, but stab damage, same type damage with all of its moves.
And it's in itself a powerful move here. That is a great move here that we can see play out. Now Primeape has hit the field.
Yeah. Primeape, I will say, Primeape has been an MVP for me in the Draft League. Primeape's a very strong Pokemon in Gen 9. Gen 7 doesn't quite have the same potential.
Is that true?
So it can't benefit from Eviolite, which it can now because it can evolve into Annihilate. So you can boost its defenses with the Eviolite. And it doesn't have access to the move Rage Fist, which is what I was able to use for a beat-up sweep. Primeape,
I saw that beat-up sweep. It was mortifying.
Primeape here, solid Pokemon. One of my favorites, hits the field and can hit very hard. Mantine, a flying type, sits above all of sits above the spikes and dodges that Earthquake. Primeape, now a fighting ground type, swaps out to a Vikavolt, which gets hit with an Air Slash.
Now, what is the speed difference here? There's a high likelihood that Mantine is faster, so if Mantine can do a move that can give it resistance against electric, it could really sing here.
Yeah, both of these Pokemon typically pretty slow, but Vikavolt takes the slowness cake, so Mantine could get off a move first, could decide, you know what, I'm quadruple weak to electric, I'm out of here. This is a tricky game. Floor's in an interesting spot. By having a bunch of Pokemon that can threaten super effective damage, they are baiting Izzy into switching. And if Izzy switches, the Pokemon end up getting toxic. So you have that push and pull of, Do I want to try and swap to resist this, knowing that if I do, I probably end up getting toxic?
Ooh.
Mantine instead fires off a toxic of its own and says, if I'm going down, you're going down too.
Yep, that means Vikavolt does now have to deal with that, has put a timer on Vikavolt. I am interested to see, one of the things about this specific matching type is that you can use offensive moves in that defensive fashion if you can think about what resistances will come in the future there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We have no way of knowing what that Mantine's other moves were, but if it had access to a Rock Smash, I could have saved.
Yeah, if it had any kind of ground type move, it would have made it immune to that. I don't think Mantine has any ground moves, but Witchy Diana, this is a complicated format. This is a format, Gen 7, in which whenever you use a move, you gain that move's typing added to your Pokemon. Emboar used a fire move, but if it had used a psychic move, for instance, it would be a fighting fire psychic Pokemon.
Yep.
Dragonite
so every Pokemon
back
can
in
have
for
up
Fleur.
to 3 types.
Up to 3 types, yep.
All right, Dragonite's back out here. We haven't actually seen Dragonite swing at all yet. You have to wonder, does Emboar even have anything that could fight?
Yeah, you never know.
We've
We've seen a couple moves off of the Emboar, neither of which would have been super effective against Dragonite, but you never know what it's got in the back.
And if Izzy switches out again, Toxic is going to hit their next Pokemon they bring in unless it is levitating above the ground in that same way.
Exactly. Dangerous position to be in with these Toxic Spikes.
A Flare Blitz, does not do
some
a lot.
damage.
A Recoil as well.
Ooh, Dragonite probably predicting a switch or a not very effective move that says, you know what? Dragon Dance, I'm speeding up. I'm getting faster, I'm getting stronger.
You have to bring out something to deal with the Dragonite here, or you have to have a move that'll shut it down. Dedende's out here, immediately Toxic. A Dragon Dance again?
Yeah, Dedenne, my favorite Namekian, coming out. It is an electric fairy type.
2 times speed. Does that bring it over Dedenne?
You know, I think Dedenne's built for... I don't know if it's
Extreme
built for
speed.
Extreme speed.
Jesus Christmas.
So I will say Dragonite is currently used in competitive play. One of the things you can do with it is use a Terra typing to normal type in order to get Stab Extreme Speed, which is a priority 80 base power move. We have set up twice with Dragon Dance, and now we don't even have to use Terra to get this. We just get it for free. There's a chance that this Dragonite is set to sweep with Extreme Speed, and there's very little that Izzy could do about it.
We gotta hope that Izzy has a Ghost type in there, because otherwise it is over. They let this Dragonite get set up too cleanly, and that just won't do. An expert player like Fleur is... Speak of the fucking devil. This is it. This could save from the Extreme Speed sweep. If Spiritomb can bring something home, then this might save the day for Izzy.
Yeah, Extreme Speed doesn't work against Spiritomb, but that being said, it does... Dragonite's still at double its attack. It's raised its attack by 4 stages, or by 2 stages off Dragon Dance. We'll see, you know, if Dragonite has something else in the back that it can just push through damage using other types of moves.
Outrage. That's gonna do it. That's
a powerful
gonna
stab
do
dragon move. Not much can hang up. Not much can fight against that. I believe Outrage locks it into using Outrage for a couple different turns, but you know, unless Izzy has a Fairy type, there's not a lot you can really do to block that.
That Umbreon is out now. Protect. Hey, that's something.
Yeah, Outrage fires into the Protect. Umbreon's gonna end up
confused, but clears its own confusion with that berry.
Do
you go for a further Protect? Do you roll the dice?
You know, it's at this point, I think that you just have to hope you survive and get off something that can handle the Dragonite, because you can
another Protect.
The double Protect blocking another Outrage. You know, we'll see what happens, but every turn that Umbreon protects, it loses more and more to Toxic. So you're just lessening and lessening your chance of surviving a Dragonite hit. We'll see if we
tries
can
again,
we get the triple.
33%, I believe. Is that correct?
What's that?
33% chance to protect again.
No, 33% chance to do the second one. This one, I believe, has like 1 in 10. It's a very low chance for this next one if they try for a triple protect. Otherwise, they might go for something else. 1 in 9, I'm seeing.
Oh my god. We have synchronized inner focus, no items on the board. What could Umbreon do here? Because that outrage is gonna hit. It's gonna hit fast. Umbreon's not faster than a double speed Dragonite.
Now, one thing that you can hope for, the Dragonite was able to shake off its confusion before. If Umbreon is able to protect another time, maybe it gets confused again, and then you're dealing with a confused Dragonite. In that
Protect
case,
failed. Win for the gamble.
Yeah, win for the gamble. And it doesn't look like Dragonite's outrage has ended. It looks like it's continuing on for another turn.
Go-Go.
We get
There's
Go-Go.
nothing here.
Go-Go is taking the poison.
This is it. This is it. There is not a way.
Can Go-Go
come
pull
out
this
from
one
this on
off?
top.
I don't see a win here. It knows that Dragonite is locked into using Outrage, but Outrage is an attack rage 2 stages stab move from a Dragonite. Can't do much against that. And with that, Fleur sweeps with the Dragonite, finishing off the other Pokemon. And that is going to wrap up our matches for the evening.
The former champion Fleur moves on to the next round. Is he putting up a hell of a match?
Truly.
But getting caught between the toxic spikes and the extreme speed Dragonite.
Truly a match for all time. And that is going to do it here. A great match to end things on tonight.
Chat, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to see the finals of this tournament tomorrow night. Same Poke time, same Poke channel. If you like what we do, you can follow us on patreon.com/moonshotpods. You can go to moonshotpods.com, see what we have there for all the wonderful podcasts that we are still planning to announce from our pitch season and what we have coming in the future. We do wonderful stuff like this because we love it, but but seeing the support is what means the most. Thank you for coming out here. Andrew, do you have anything you want to say as we walk out?
Yeah, I just wanted to say Riley is correct. When they said same Poke channel, what they meant is that we are going to be playing Pokemon Channel, everyone's favorite GameCube Pokemon game. That is going to be our finals matches are all going to be played exclusively through Pokemon Channel. You heard it here first, folks.
Thank you, everybody, for joining.
That's a lie. Good night, everyone.